The coffee shop was nearly empty that Tuesday morning when Sarah walked in, her Navy uniform crisp, despite the long flight home. She'd been deployed for 8 months, and all she wanted was a quiet moment before surprising her family. The barista smiled warmly as Sarah ordered, but 3 men at a corner table weren't smiling. They were staring, whispering, their expressions twisted with contempt. Sarah noticed, but said nothing. She'd learned long ago that some battles weren't worth fighting. But as she waited for her drink, one of the men stood up, his chair scraping loudly against the floor. He was tall, tattooed, and walked with the swagger of someone who'd never faced real consequences. His friends followed, forming a half-circle around her. The barista's smile faded. Other customers looked away, and in that moment, Sarah knew this wasn't going to end quietly. "Look at this," the tall one sneered, circling her like a predator. Playing dress-up in mommy's uniform? His breath reeked of alcohol even at 9 in the morning. Sarah's jaw tightened, but her voice remained calm. "I don't want any trouble," she said quietly. "Just here for coffee." The man laughed, a harsh sound that echoed through the shop. "You hear that, boys? She doesn't want trouble." He reached out suddenly, grabbing her sleeve. "How about we see if this costume is real?" Before Sarah could react, he pulled out a pocket knife. The blade flashed in the morning light as he sliced through her uniform sleeve, the fabric tearing with a sickening sound. His friends howled with laughter. The barista gasped, and something ancient and dangerous flickered in Sarah's eyes. "That," she said softly, "was a mistake." What happened next occurred so fast that witnesses would later struggle to describe it. The man's knife hand was suddenly twisted backward, the weapon clattering to the floor. He yelped in pain as Sarah used his own momentum against him, dropping him to his knees with precision that spoke of countless hours of training. His friends lunged forward, but Sarah was already moving. A swift kick to one's knee sent him sprawling. The other found himself face down on a table, his arm locked behind him at an angle that promised excruciating pain if he moved. The entire confrontation lasted maybe 10 seconds. 3 men who'd walked in looking for a victim now found themselves completely neutralized by someone they assumed was weak. Sarah held them there, her breathing steady, her expression calm. "Anyone else?" she asked quietly. Silence answered her. The police arrived 7 minutes later, responding to the barista's frantic call. Officer Martinez walked in expecting a brawl, but found something else entirely. 3 men sitting meekly on the floor, hands on their heads, while a small woman in a torn Navy uniform stood watch. "These men assaulted a service member," the barista explained breathlessly, showing the officer her phone. "I got it all on video." As Martinez handcuffed the attackers, he noticed the insignia on Sarah's remaining good sleeve. His eyes widened. "Ma'am, are you?" Sarah nodded. "Navy SEAL. First female to graduate my class." The officer's respect was immediate and absolute. The 3 attackers suddenly looked very small and very stupid. But something unexpected happened as Martinez led them toward his patrol car. The tall one, the ringleader, stopped, turned. His face had changed, the arrogance replaced by something raw. "I have a daughter," he said, his voice breaking. "She's 6. What am I teaching her?" Tears streamed down his face. "I was angry at the world, at my life falling apart, and I took it out on you, someone who actually serves, who actually sacrifices." He fell to his knees, sobbing. "I'm so sorry. God, I'm so sorry." Sarah stood frozen, watching this broken man crumble. She'd been trained to neutralize threats, to show no mercy in combat. But she'd also been taught something else by her grandfather, himself a veteran. Real strength isn't just about fighting. It's knowing when to show grace. She walked over slowly, crouched down to his level. "What's your daughter's name?" The man looked up, confused. "Emily," he whispered. Sarah nodded. "Emily deserves a father who's better than this, who teaches her respect, not hate." She paused, then said something that surprised everyone, including herself. "Officer Martinez, I'm not pressing charges." The coffee shop erupted in whispers. Martinez looked shocked. "Ma'am, they assaulted you, destroyed military property." Sarah raised her hand. "I know. but sending him to jail doesn't fix what's broken inside him. It doesn't help, Emily. She looked at the three men. You're going to do community service instead. At the VA hospital, you're going to look veterans in the eye, hear their stories, understand what service really means. The tall man stared at her, incredulous. Why would you give us a chance after what we did? Sarah thought of her grandfather, who'd shown kindness to a former enemy soldier decades ago, changing both their lives forever. She thought of all the second chances she'd witnessed, the redemptions she'd seen in the hardest places. Because I've been to war, she said simply. I've seen what hate does. It destroys everything it touches. But I've also seen what happens when someone chooses mercy over vengeance. Sometimes that's the bravest thing you can do. 6 months later, Sarah received a letter. They were one with the courage to show grace when the world expected revenge.